Hi, I'm Amber Beldine. It's Thursday night. My husband's out, my kids are in bed, and tonight I'm going to make a cocktail inspired by Amor Towles' book, A Gentleman in Moscow. Ever since I was a freshman in college and I read the brothers Karamazov in my literature class, I have loved books set in Russia. And if you want to chat about my favorites, find me on social media. But when I saw this book in my library queue, I read the audiobook and I was thrilled. And it is absolutely one of my favorite books that I've ever read. This book is so humane and so humorous, and it truly is about a gentleman. The gentleman in Moscow is Count Rostov, who is an aristocrat during the Russian Revolution, who is put under house arrest by the Bolsheviks. He is forced to live in the Metropole Hotel in Moscow and to never leave the building. And yet, in that confinement, he never lets his world or his heart or his hope shrink. It's such an inspiring and hopeful book, and everyone that I recommend it to, from my book group to my clergy colleagues, just loves this book. When I was in New York this summer for Romance Writers of America, I was sitting with my literary agent, and we were talking about how much we love this book. And at that exact moment, my clergy colleague out in California, Sue Ying, texted me and said, "I'm so glad you recommended A Gentleman in Moscow to me. I love it." And it was Sue Ying who reminded me over lunch a few weeks ago about this scene in the book where Count Rostov is sitting at the bar with an American friend and his bartender friend, Audrius, and they challenge Audrius to make a cocktail in 4 different colors, the 4 colors that are on St. Basil's Cathedral. And so we're gonna make one of them tonight. We're gonna make the robin's egg, and it has blue curacao in it, which I've never used in a cocktail before, so this is a bit of an adventure for me. So we're gonna start with 1 ounce of blue curacao and 2 ounces of vodka, because of course this is a Russian novel. I know from this big handle you'd think I'm a big vodka drinker, but it's really just around for when my family from Florida visits, because they are the vodka drinkers. Okay, we're gonna use 1 ounce of lemon juice. I'm gonna call that about the juice of half a lemon. Here's my simple syrup. You know, I make that sugar-free simple syrup with erythritol and a little stevia. That was 1 ounce. I'm going to use a dash of lemon bitters. And we're going to shake that up. I am so excited to see the color of this. Ooh, look at that. Sort of looks like you're going to drink the swimming pool. You can top it off with a little bit of club soda and a lemon. I didn't invent this cocktail recipe. I found this one on Amor Towles' Facebook page, courtesy of one of his enthusiastic fans who created this robin's egg cocktail recipe. And so thank you to her for inventing this cocktail inspired by this most beautiful and amazing of books. If you haven't read it, you absolutely have to. And if you do, I hope you'll make the robin's egg. It is delicious, and it would go perfectly with A Gentleman in Moscow by Amor Towles.